Welcome to a quick walkthrough of the vendor features in TouchBase Real Estate. The vendor in the loop features allow you to include your vendors in the showing process. This means that vendors will receive requests and updates sent by TouchBase on your behalf. For example, if you include your vendor in the showing request loop, they'll receive the showing request directly on their email or on their cell phone as a text message and will be able to confirm that appointment directly. This can be set up directly in your listings feature. I will head there now and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm logged in as administrative staff right now. This is my main send a message window, but what I'll do is I'll head to my listings feature, which is to the left here in the tools menu bar. And as administrative staff, I have access to all of the active listings in the office. So I will log into 80 Wellington Street in Ottawa, and I'll show you around what a listing feature looks like here. So this is the main listing window. So you can see you have vendor information here as well as property information. You have a listing agent information, and you have listing dispatch features at the bottom. So in this case here, I'm going to click on Edit for the vendor. And I can edit my vendor information. I can add administrative instructions, which are private and kept within the office. I can send out a little note with every confirmation that's sent out. I can change the price, the listing status, as well as listing notes. So for now, I'm going to go here to Kristen Matt's profile, who's a vendor, and I'm going to edit her information. So here, you can see that there's an office number, a fax number. If I wanted to add a cell phone, I could do that here. And what's great about cell phone is as soon as you start writing a cell phone number, you have a little pop-up here that says agrees to receive text messages. This is a little checkbox. And what that means is you can actually program your vendor's cell phone number here, and then he or she can receive text messages to confirm showings. So that's a handy feature. And we also have an email address. So in this case, I'm going to add my email address. And you can see it says agrees to receive email. So this is obviously an issue of confidentiality. Do they want to receive emails? This is just something that you would check out with your vendor. You'd say, I have the option of sending you emails when requests are asked instead of calling you. Is that something you'd be into? So it's just a question of checking that out with them. So I'm going to check this off. So I'll go ahead and save this. Okay, so now that all of my vendor information is kept up to date, if I scroll down here and check out the listing dispatch property section, you can see that Bob Bungalow, who's the listing agent here, has automatic settings here for how they receive messages in regards to this property. And right here, you have access to vendor. So for vendor, do I want my vendor to receive the requests, the confirmations, the cancellations, the feedback, the information, and other? In this case, vendor receives requests, vendor receives confirmation, vendor receives cancellations, and they also receive feedback. So in this case, maybe I don't want them to receive feedback. Maybe that's something that I'd rather tell them myself. So I'll go ahead and click on Save. And then I'll see that for the vendor, they receive the request, the confirmation, and the cancellation, and feedback is now red, and it says never, so they don't receive that directly. What I'll do now is I'll just send a quick showing request so you have an idea of what that looks like. So I know it's in regards to 80 Wellington. So this is the send a message window. A lot of these things automatically fill out as I type them. This is what's really handy about the administrative interface. So I'll just do a showing request for 4 p.m. and I'll send that message. And as the message sends, it actually tells me where that message is being sent. So the message is sent to the office. For Nick Matt, it says you need to call. So he's someone who's working at the office. He didn't program a cell phone or an email address, so you need to call him directly. And you can see, last but not least, the listing agent was sent on their email. So I'll go ahead and click Continue. And now I can see here my showings in process are yellow, meaning that there's a new showings in process. So as administrative staff, I'm always kept abreast of what's new and what's incoming. So I'll go ahead and click on my email. So if I go, I'm the vendor and I receive showing request for your property. I'll go ahead and click on that. And I'll open the message and it says, Kristen Matt, we have a showing request for your property, 80 Wellington Street, Wednesday, the 30th at 4 p.m. Please contact my office if you need to contact the time or cannot accept this showing. So it has my listing agent information and their phone number. So if ever I can't accept this, I can call them back directly. But if I can actually accept it, and it automatically pops up a little window, and it confirms that information, and I'll just click on Confirm. And that's a really handy way of confirming showings. So what I'll do is I'll head back to my showings in process window here. So what's important to note is, yes, you have access to all of your listings here in the listings window. This is an inclusive list of all of the listings in your office. But if you're in showings in process and you have showings that are unconfirmed, I'll just uncheck canceled so I just see the ones that are unconfirmed. I can actually go into this. Let's say I'll press play, the plus sign here, and you can see as a vendor, it said showing request sent to Kristen Matt by email. What's handy about this is, for example, if I want to program a delay, if I'm a real estate agent and I'd say, okay, I'm going to give my vendors a 30-minute delay to confirm, and after 30 minutes they haven't confirmed, I'll take things into my own hands. That's actually something that you can program in your profile. So that's something that every agent has access to, and they can set up a default delay in their profile. So if this says 1:30 p.m., request sent to Kristen Matt by email. So maybe it's about 2:30 now. Maybe I feel like, okay, an hour is long enough. I'm administrative staff. I can actually call her directly. I have access to her information right here and confirm that. So I can say called KM to confirm. Said she'd call me back later. So I can click on save. And what's handy about this feature is whatever the system does, whatever administrative staff does, or whatever an agent or an assistant does, all of that information is kept up to date in the front desk process. So everybody's up to date, everybody knows what's going on, and any steps that have been taken have been documented, so nobody's doing things twice or calling the same person twice. So keeping the vendor in the loop makes everything a little bit faster and a little bit easier, since most people work on computers these days anyway, so if they don't have a computer in front of them, they usually have their cell phone, so they can easily confirm showing requests. There's no need for phone tag. So what I'll do is I'll just head to my vendor information here. I'll click on More. So I have access to all of that same vendor information I had in listings. And what's important is that all of this is kept confidential. So again, only the office has access to this information. It's accessed by you, yourself, your administrative staff colleagues. If ever you want to edit that information, it can be easily edited. You can add or remove any information you see fit. So this has been a brief overview of the vendor function in TouchBase Real Estate. If ever you have any questions, you can always check out our Help Center for more information.